Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
In a world of hyperinflation, financial crisis, and the US train system that suddenly can't stay on track, literally, it's good to have things you can rely on. You know, just like the way you can rely on the fact that a handful of Lemonhead candies is going to make you pucker up for a bit, but then blast you with a wave of awesomeness. Sort of like this podcast. Pucker up, America. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Just pegging that bad boy. 1.
Woohoo!
Yeah, man, we just blow everything out right off the bat. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How you doing? How you doing? I know.
Right,
You just got to give it
morning.
time. Yeah, we got to give it time to say, America.
Dude, it's getting crazy out there.
Yes, it is. It is getting crazy. We were not arrested this past week,
No,
so
not yet,
that's
anyway.
cool. But anyway, so hey, you're welcome.
Yeah, good, man. What else are we going to do?
You're welcome. We're here, and well, let's just do the whole thing.
In a world of insanity,
There you go.
we're
Here's a
here
little
for
more.
you.
Here's a little more for you. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave,
I'm Juan.
and this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. On a Saturday morning, I would say bright and early. It feels bright and early to us. And I know, guys, you're probably not listening to this or watching this on a Saturday morning, but let's play theater of the mind.
Of the minds.
And some of you are thinking, oh, man, I wish it was Saturday morning again. I'd have the weekend ahead of me. Man, I had some fun on Saturday. Watch it, whatever. So just, take yourself back there.
Yeah,
we
it's
have
April Fool's Day, so why not?
It is. Is it really?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Don't tell anybody. Well, okay. So it'll be done by it won't be by the time they're listening to this, but I did not know that. I did not. I was not aware of that. So, okay. So we'll play a joke on each other later on. Or not. Yeah. Yeah. And we were talking right before we came on, the funny thing. So I've got a lot of stuff I have to get done this weekend, and I bring it on myself. I had a good week. I had a lot of stuff going on, things going pretty well. But I've got, it stacks up, and I've got work I have to do today and tomorrow. And when I say work, it's not the kind of work that real people, like real men.
It's not your typical weekend labor.
Yes, like regular people say, like, what, bro? You gotta write something. You gotta, right? You gotta. Oh man. Oh, poor thing. Oh, poor Tinu. You gotta type on a keyboard, and then you gotta read the words, and then you gotta try to make them make sense. Oh,
And
sucks
you got
to
a
be.
spell check.
Yeah. Oh, poor thing. So I realize that it doesn't sound like the kind of thing you should complain about, but I would much rather. Right now, no, I'm not. Let me watch my complaints. I enjoy the fact I get to do what I get to do, and
Right.
and thank whatever. But many, like a day like today, it's actually kind of a sunny day outside. I think the weather's going to be kind of decent, dude. I would rather have a pasture to mow with a little push mower. I would rather, right, be out there doing some mindless. I shouldn't even say that because you can't be mindless when you're mowing the grass. But you know what I'm saying.
But the difference about that is, I call that thoughtless work, where you can, it's routine enough that your mind can go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a pasture to mow, it might be easier to write all of that stuff because you could be mowing the pasture. Your mind would get lost, and you would come up with what you want to write.
I used to say that something like when we did various speeches, not the stuff I do now, but when I used to have to create whatever. Yeah, man, mowing the grass.
Yeah.
Mowing. I
Literally years ago, I worked at a place, and I've written in various, or creative writing, advertising, in various parts of my career, most of them. And my boss would say, like, if there was something that we needed to crank out quick that just came up out of nowhere, she said, "Do you have any grass to cut?"
Well, look.
And I'd go home, cut grass, and try to write.
Yeah. So maybe that's okay. Sadly, I got a guy that cuts my grass now. So I don't know. Maybe
Check that off.
maybe I can call him and say, hey, can you cut? I know you normally come on Tuesday, but can you come today? And then just let me walk behind you.
Yeah. Or does he have any extra yards that needs to get done today?
Maybe it's the smell. I think it might be partly the smell of mowed grass. There's very few things as satisfying as the smell of mowed grass when it's done, especially when you did it, right? When you, right, just stand there and go, ah.
Dude, I saw this week, I was on the road for work and saw, I guess it was a lawn service company or a company that sells lawn equipment. But I passed in front of this place 2 or 3 times, and they've got maybe it's a common thing, and I just have never seen it. But what I compare to a Roomba, a robotic vacuum in your house, a lawnmower. And this guy's got this thing running up and down all day along the ditch in the front of his business. And I don't know if they're solar powered or what. Yeah, but you'd see they'd come right up to the road, turn.
That's going to work until AI totally takes over everything. And that's artificial intelligence for those of you out there struggling, with what that means. But
or it slips on the road, a car hits it, the blade flips in the air and cuts somebody.
And I used to think, like I told you before, I used to think Roombas and that stuff was absolutely, genius until one tried to kill my mom. And then, we didn't try to kill her. It's just came out from under the bed when she wasn't looking, and didn't.
Took a toe off. No.
No, that's the one she just kind of tripped her and she fell into the closet. And I'm sure she's listening to this right now. And I'm sorry to have you relive that.
Don't tell him that.
No, that'd be my Aunt Marion that would get on that. My mom wouldn't say that. My Aunt Marion's that one. I can't believe you can say anything. There's no fact checks. Fake news. Disclaiming something I said that everybody else in the family says, no, that happened.
Yeah.
No, that happened. But there you go. So don't cry for me. But that's what I got to do later on today. I'm actually happy. I say happy. It could have been worse. I got a couple new marks on me. Not bad. No, here's the deal. So last night we get in from we went to dinner last night, and by the way, man, stuff's so expensive now. And don't get me wrong. Again, it's I'm sorry, like I'm whining. I guess I am. But so we went to my favorite place. The pizza place that almost never charges for beer and stuff. And we always make up for it with the cash. Here's how expensive stuff has gotten. So I guess I don't know if they do that. Somebody must be on to something now. So like we got the bill, and it had 3. Cause I was one of my sons with me and my wife, and so it had 3 beers on it. Okay, like whatever the cheapest beer they got was not what we had, right? And not the volume we had. But so I guess they have to like, okay, we can't have somebody sitting at the bar.
This is your people who
I think, yeah, just for like, they realize, okay, we can't have somebody sitting at the bar for, I don't know, an hour plus, who've obviously had, and then have 0. So anyway, so when I looked down at the bill, I thought, oh, well, I guess the game is over. I guess like, okay, we had to. And then I realized, oh, wait, they still didn't charge me. Like that's just how expensive everything is now, man. 20 something dollar pizzas. You can feed. Now, here's an old guy, right? Remember, you can feed a family of 4 for $25.
Bro, you could go to Taco Bell for $5 for the family.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can't do that in these days.
No, it's the.
That's when I was downright embarrassed. I got the bill and I went to. Oh, don't worry. Oh, well, okay, we'll just pay the bill. Then she says, they didn't charge you for everything, right? And I'm like, wow, that amount they didn't charge me for everything. Hang on a sec.
You got the deal.
Dang. All right.
It's well, I was out of town all week, which is rare for me. And I was out of town some last week. And when I go out of town for work, I typically enjoy the opportunity to just stay in the hotel by myself, but just have quiet time in the evening. And so I brought a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter. I was out from Tuesday to Friday. And I said, I'm just freaking, yeah, brought me had a fridge in the room, brought me a 12er of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh my gosh.
So the Monday night or Tuesday night, whatever the first night was, yeah, we got 16 people.
Jeez.
And then it's all right, here's where we're all meeting for dinner. It's like, oh God, no, don't do me that.
Bruh, y'all can meet for dinner. I got a date with a loaf of bread, a jar of peanut butter, and a cold.
It was Bunny and Jif.
Oh,
Crunchy
man.
Jif.
Oh, you could be you're like my mom. That's my mom. I mean, I may have told that story. Sorry if we did. That's her breakfast every morning. And breakfast could be whenever. Like she's a night bird. So my mom, we're wired. I don't know. We talk about this all the time about, you just wired a certain way forever. And what's weird because we were mornings. I had to do a morning radio show where I had to be up at 4:15 in the morning, and that's not how I'm wired at all. No. I mean my natural is I'm up late and I'd like to sleep late, and that's sort of how my mom is. Now she spent her life with kids and getting stuff ready and having to go to work and do whatever. So, but now that she doesn't have to, it just kind of reverts back to. I never worry. Like if I call my mom at 11 o'clock at night, you are not waking her up. You are not waking her. Call her at midnight. You ain't waking her up because sometimes she'll tell me, she goes, "Oh, I was watching something or listening to whatever. I realized it was 2 a.m."
Well, and then call her at 9. She ain't answering.
No, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. But she will do whatever. But the thing is, so breakfast is whenever breakfast is. Breakfast could be at 7 o'clock in the morning. It could be at 11 o'clock in the morning. Might be noon. But the first thing,
the first meal of the day, not necessarily the early morning meal.
Dude, the first meal of the day is going to be a slice of white bread with peanut butter folded in half and a cup of coffee. That's actually sounding pretty good right now. I might.
Well, let me tell you something. I got a whole loaf of Bunny.
You didn't get to eat it?
Just, not at all, dude. Went out all 3 nights.
You didn't even get to open the jar? Did you?
No.
You got more discipline than me. I'd have been like spoon. I'd have been eating spoon. I eat spoons of peanut butter. That's like, I don't know if that's a bad habit or not.
By the time we'd get back to the hotel, we were, and without going into way in the weeds, my company took on a new client, and it's the biggest client we've ever had. They've got like almost 30 stores. And they're coming on, and we had to merchandise them, which means you're in there moving product around. Physical labor that I'm not used to doing. And like on the second day, these guys are in there talking about, when I would work for this guy, we had to do it this way. And when I work for this guy, we had to do it that way. And so I yelled across the room. I said, "You know what I did in all of my other jobs? Not merchandising." But so I'd get back to the room, and it was like I was exhausted to begin with. And then I thought, all right, well, company's paying for the meal, I'll go. And then the last night, we were going to eat seafood, and I'm about to get me some boiled crawfish, so I'm excited about that.
So you just like my mom with that? You like my wife on that? I always tell my wife, why don't get boiled seafood in a restaurant? I mean, sorry for etouffee to go down and cut off. I know y'all got great crawfish, and my cousin Scott boiling that. But we live in Sugar Land, Houston, and I'm sorry, you're just not going to find good crawfish boiled.
This was good.
Here.
I mean, I was in it was in Sulphur, Lake Charles, so it was really good.
Yeah. So okay.
But so it's odd. Like we had a whole room, but you've got to walk up to the counter to order. So I walk in, and I'm just first I'm just going to go up there and get a drink. So I'm trying to paint a visual picture. So, I'm closest to the door because I'm the last person in. And then somebody walks in right behind me, a kind of crazy looking woman, and loudly announces, "There's a crazy woman with a big machete coming in here." Wow. It's kind of interesting. I turn around. When I tell you, here comes a crazy looking woman with her arm behind her back with a machete walking into the restaurant. Yeah, legit machete. And so I'm kind of looking, and other people are looking, and the woman with the machete saying, "Y'all think I'm crazy? Y'all, what's the matter? Y'all don't trust? Why y'all all got to be so scared? I'm not hurting anybody." And It's like,
What?
well, you got a machete in your hand. That's kind of why I'm so scared. I wasn't scared, but then she proceeds to go back at the counter, and she used to work there or something. Well, they got her out. I'm surprised nobody shot her. But,
oh no, dude! I mean, while you saying this, I'm thinking that would be an unfortunate thing for me because chances are,
I told people. I said, man, my buddy Dave.
No,
it'd have been done in about a second.
Well, I don't. I hope not, because then, dude, that's a lot of paperwork. And
I said he'd have pulled on her.
Oh no, no doubt. Or it depends. No, it depends what you're doing. Yeah, because that's somebody asking to be taken out. Yeah. I mean, you can't do that, especially what's been going on lately. Give me a break, man. Yeah. I mean,
you're walking in and hiding it behind your back.
Dude, I look at everybody.
Not like it's in a belt today. I'm sorry, I've just been trimming some brush. I forgot to take the machete off my hip.
Man, half the time when I go out, man, I'm like the last episode of The Sopranos, man. I'm Tony Soprano sitting at that table. And I'm watching who's coming in. I'm watching what's, yeah, man. So the person that came in with the machete, you said she used to work there?
Yeah.
What's the name of this place? What's the name of this place? You remember? It was in Sulphur, Lake Charles. Where's it at?
It's in Lake Charles on the lake. I will find it momentarily.
Why y'all so scared? That'd have been a fun one. I'm not, ma'am, because I know how this is going to end.
Let me see. And I'm going to look up seafood in Lake Charles.
For those of you that want to go get a nice crawfish meal and
Steamboat Bills, first place that comes up.
Steamboat, is that the place right off of off of 10? Or yeah,
yeah, it's on the lake.
Like right off, like if you're coming from
like right by that big bridge and stuff, and yeah,
that place looks like a dump. Really?
Yeah.
Is it a dump? It looks like a dump.
No, I mean it's a hole in the wall type place, but it's
okay. Well, I'm glad.
Like I said, you walk in, you walk up to the counter, and
hey, no disrespect to our many fans in Lake Charles, Louisiana, but that place looks like a dump. And apparently, now that you tell me that crazy ladies walk in with machetes behind their back, that's not actually surprising. Telling me
that's
that
right.
Now.
It's right next to the Love Shack. So
there you go. Yeah, that's an interesting place right there in Lake Charles. Like, I don't think that old Capital One building, did they ever open that thing up again at all?
No. Okay. The plywood is molded now. I mean, we passed by the back of it the other day.
Did you? I every time we drive, and you got to pay attention when you're driving around there, because it's all. Well, first thing you got to do is say a quick "Our Father" or "Hail Mary" when you get up to that bridge, because everybody's been telling us for the past 10 years that bridge is gonna go. Like they keep saying that bridge.
If you're on that suck, and I know all bridges move, but if you ever stop in traffic on that thing, it moves a lot.
Yeah, that bridge is the Steamboat Willie of bridges, man. Or Steamboat, what was it? Steamboat no, Steamboat Willie was the Mickey Mouse movie, right?
Yeah.
Steamboat
Bills.
Okay. That bridge is the Steamboat Bills of bridges. But every time we drive, I kind of look off to that building, and it's just far enough away that I can't quite see, like, is that still wood in the
right?
In the
and I just thought maybe I thought maybe those those mirrored pieces of glass were more expensive or something.
Correct.
So they've just got this, but no, it's all wood.
That's sad. And because that was sort of the
that was kind of the not the icon, but it was really a landmark, so to speak. Or
no, there's a lot to Lake Charles. That's the thing about Lake Charles too. It's one of those towns that, if all you know it for is what you see from I-10, it looks like a pit.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't look like there's a heck of a lot going on. It's not a huge place, and obviously those hurricanes were terrible. But
yeah, but when you get down near the university and everything, it's nicer. And
yeah, exactly. Same thing like Lafayette. We went driving through Lafayette a few weeks back, and if all you drive through Lafayette is 90. And then, you go through whatever the old part of that, and then get on 10. You think Lafayette's a pit. You think Lafayette's like, oh my God, this is why? But then you get off and like, oh, okay, right. It's nice. And it's not like Thibodeau, bruh. All the good stuff is right there on LA.
Right there. Replete with white beaches.
Replete. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I will tell you one place that's not nice. It's actually in Sulphur. and I don't mean to slam a whole brand, but Comfort Suites is where we stayed.
Are you kidding me? So hang on. Now, the picture's even better. You're in a comfort suite with a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter.
Let me tell you something, dude. Yeah, my jar of peanut butter was too good for this place.
Well, look.
Not that I should have expected much more.
I don't think, and again, I could be wrong. And like I'm saying, guys, we don't lie. Everybody else is lying. I can talk about that later on. Oh my gosh, the lies that you're being told right now. But we don't lie. Sometimes we're wrong. We don't know we're wrong when we're wrong, but we try not to be. I don't think that Comfort Suites is like that's the national.
It's not the 4-star.
No. What I'm saying is, I think you sort of they got independent owners. I guess most hotels do.
Well, maybe so.
And what happens is when you get a branding deal with whether it's a Holiday Inn or whether it's and again these things have changed and I don't know exactly how it was, but I think what happens is it's independent people own the building and you license to say Comfort Suites and you probably borrow there,
so.
Right? But so as a brand, what you do is, you got to try to reinforce standards. So if I'm going to let you slap the prestigious Comfort Suites sign on your hellhole of a building, I need you to, keep it up because, well, I guess not. So apparently in Sulphur.
Well, no,
now help me out. Can I see it from the road if I'm driving on?
Yep.
Is it Comfort Suites off of okay?
It says Raising Cane's on one side of the interstate. It's directly on the other side.
Now, without getting into y'all business, when I get into your business, is there nowhere else to stay, man?
Well, we're going back next week and we're staying someplace else. So, because my boss was with us, and despite the facts that I'm about to share with you about the loveliness of my room, he wasn't excited to be staying there either.
Well, who lined it up?
Person who is over that area for us, who apparently stays there on a regular basis.
Oh man, that's a problem, and I don't want to. That's a problem. Okay. Because whenever you allow anybody to book or suggest anything especially, it's not even like a restaurant. If somebody sends you to a bad restaurant, you got a bad experience. You're like, I'm just going to. Dude, when you're staying in a bad place, that's extended. That's like.
Dude, well, here, let me describe my lovely experience there. So I got there on Tuesday late afternoon, and well, all right, it's kind of odd because it's a quote unquote suite. Well, it's got a little sitting area on one side of the room, but the TV's over there by the bed, and the only place I could see the TV would be from the bed. So I'm trying to think, is this like a meditation area? What am I supposed to do here? just sit here for a long time.
You got to turn the TV is what you got to do.
Yeah, well, it wasn't on one of those things that I had to pull the TV. Wasn't on a mount that allowed pivoting. So anyway, now I had to get up, I had to be on the road for 5 o'clock the next morning. So needless to say, I'm taking a shower and my eyes are still closed. No big deal. No, not much observation there. I'm just kind of in and out. The next morning, I got a little time. So, my body's sore from merchandising all day. So, I'm just staying in the shower, let the hot water hit me and stuff. Well, the walls of the shower appear to be like a granite type material. I don't know. That's what it looked like. It's a hard surface. So I'm looking. I said, wow, is that like a color pattern on the part of the pattern on the granite? And so I hurried up and I finished showering and I took my washcloth and part of the pattern that I thought could have just been a pattern, I passed my cloth on it. It came off and what was on the rag was green and nasty.
Oh man.
Then I look down at the bottom of the shower curtain, and there's a whole lot more green and nasty.
Oh man.
So I get out of there, and I put the rag in the Walmart bag that I had brought my loaf of bread in.
The bag in my Walmart bag. I put it down.
To bring it down. The
so you were gonna call this to the attention of the proprietors of the luxurious Comfort Inn I'm sorry,
the Comfort Suites.
Comfort Suites in Sulphur.
Yeah, so I bring it down and show the girl behind the desk. Like, I grabbed the rag from the cleaner. She said, "Oh, put that back in. That's nasty." I said, "Yeah, it's nasty. That's off my shower."
Jeez.
And I mean, it's still early in the morning. She wasn't anybody that had any level
Correct.
authority. So, she wrote it down and everything. And said, "Well, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him." So at the end of the day, I come back and I go to the desk and I say, "Hey, I'm in whatever room I was in. I was just trying to see what if y'all took care of that problem." And so the girl says, looks at her note. "Yeah, they fixed it."
They fixed it.
They fixed it. And so I said, "Okay, well, what entails fixed it?" "Well, let me go ask the manager." And then she comes back from talking to the manager. They changed it. They changed what? Can I talk to the manager? And so there's nothing else going on in the lobby of this hotel at this point, but it takes the manager 10 minutes to come out.
Of course, because they're hoping you get bored or annoyed and walk away.
But so I said, what'd y'all do to fix it? "Oh, we changed the curtain, shower curtain." I said, "Well, what about the wall of the shower?" "Oh, yeah, we cleaned that." And I said, "Well, how did it happen?" And said, "Oh, it's been humid."
It's been humid.
And I said, "Lady, I'm from Baila Foosh. Humidity doesn't occur in one day and cause mildew."
And guess what? All bathrooms are humid.
Exactly. Right. So she said, "Well, there could be a leak behind the wall." I said, "Granite's not a porous substance. If there's a leak behind the wall, it got nothing to do with the outside."
Hey, fess up to the fact, right?
And that's what I said. I said, "Man, this is an ongoing problem. That room hadn't been tended to in a while."
They didn't know who they had staying in that
and
suite.
I said, "My company's got 16 people here for 4 nights, and we're looking to have 16 people here for 4 nights next week."
No,
I know, Miss, and says the lady's name. She's nice. We like her.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I bet her room was free. Oh no, I guess somebody else is paying for it. Okay.
But no offer to, would you like us to move you to another room? Could we comp this room? Nothing.
Yeah, and y'all better not be touching my loaf of bread and my peanut butter.
That's right.
I'm gonna check. I counted the slices when I left. Y'all better not be putting that. Was there a free breakfast at this place?
Yeah, but
I bet you it was nasty as all get out.
Yeah, I didn't eat it. It was supposed to be continental breakfast, but nothing hot. It had, I guess bagels and cereal.
Oh, bagels are bad, yeah.
But so then that night, it's like, I'm going to bed, and I realized, I hadn't closed all the curtains. I got some, other curtains in here that I didn't close last night or the first 2 nights. And they were just shears.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, it's got the wall AC unit. So the curtains are right over that. Those freaking curtains had so much mold on them. I was about to lose my mind.
Mold on the curtains?
Yeah. Or mildew. Well, I mean, I don't really know the difference.
Jeez.
But,
yeah. Yeah.
But so the next morning, needless to say, I didn't shower in there again. We were leaving the next day. So, what I've always put my stuff away in a hotel, but I'll throw my dirty clothes on the floor in the closet. Well, when I'm pulling my clothes out of the closet to pack up yesterday, they come out with 2 or 3 croutons that had been on the floor in the closet.
And you didn't bring croutons?
No, I didn't bring croutons. My bread was fresh.
You were bread and peanut butter.
Yeah.
You know what? Those croutons, compliments of the house, bro. You were in the big roller suite. Compliments of the house. And Mr. Semino, for your trouble, we've placed a few croutons on the floor of the closet.
Yeah. So,
oh man.
Well, I went back down and told the same girl I had talked to the day before, and I said, "Hey, I just want to tell you, I've stayed in some pretty cheap hotels in my life. This is the nastiest place I have ever stayed."
Jeez.
And I said, "Here's my business card. I know you don't care who I am, but when I write that review, I want y'all to know it was me."
And you're going back. Well, not to that place.
No, we're not going back to that place.
Oh man. Well, that's what you're gonna do. Now, that's over the top bad. All right. But
the worst thing, Dave, was the pillows were the most comfortable pillows I ever had.
So and help me, I almost just said, I bet you didn't steal a pillow from that place.
I didn't. It was all I could muster up to open the 3 pillowcase covers or the 3 pillow covers to take a picture of the tag so I could order one.
You don't want to. And that's the thing with hotel rooms. Now, granted, that stuff's just out in the open, right? That's the thing about hotel rooms is you don't want to think about where you're staying. I don't care how nice it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how nice the bathroom looks. I don't care. There are people that you wouldn't want to share a dining room with. Okay. You're sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah.
They slept in. You talk about having like a ceiling area. You ever play that game? Like, okay, what am I less likely to catch something from? Sitting on that sofa that I know they have not touched in whatever. No. Or you ever have something fall off like from the bed and it falls off the bed and you want to try to grab it without having to look? Like, man, you do not want to. Now, most hotels now are smart enough that the beds,
close it in. Yeah.
It's all closed in where stuff can't get under the bed. Yeah. But, oh, my, no.
Yeah, I challenge anybody to go in a hotel like that and lift up the sofa cushion.
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Hey.
Find more than croutons in there.
Man, well, if you're hungry, there you go. But, yeah, so I'm going to think about next time I drive by there, man, I may take that exit. I may take the Comfort Suites exit just to pull in to so have you got rooms booked somewhere else now?
I don't know. Whoever the lady is that booked the room is handling that.
Yeah.
We'll get notification on that tomorrow.
Who she reports to, man? Not you, huh?
My boss.
All right. So hey, thanks for knocking it out of the park on that one. Of course, I thought before it'd be kind of funny, hard for you to complain about not going to dinner and you tell them, okay, y'all might not have known this about me when you hired me, but I'm more known for using my mind when I work. You hire me to think and to strategize and to come up with the occasional witty comment. You didn't hire me to lift cans or whatever it was.
A lot of that. A lot of
merchandising
oil.
Merchandising is a nice way of saying, yeah.
Yeah, no, but granted, there are other people who don't typically do that work, doing that work. It was just all hands on deck. Oh, yeah. The hardest part was when I was, because I'm too old to be getting up and down from the floor. So if I got to get down low, I just sit on the floor and scoot across on my butt. But so when I was working in the candy aisle, I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of good candy. I hadn't had lemon heads in a long time. I should buy some of this.
Lemon heads. I don't know if you can say they are one of the most underrated candies because it's not underrated to me. Like you give me if you're not worried about the diabetes and they're not, let's put it this way, boys and girls, they're not exactly fruit, right? They're called lemon heads, right? You might even think, I bet they got vitamin C in there. Which they should.
Man, when you eat that wax part off of that wax coating, and stick your tongue on that little rough little ball of a lemon, dude, it'll send you a little shiver down your spine.
And then it ends with just pure sugar, sweet, hard, clear, and they're clear underneath there too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's great about a lemon head is you want it. Now I don't just put one in my mouth at a time. I mean, that's
I like to get the big ones that they sell, for a nickel a piece or a dime a piece, as opposed
I
to
haven't
just a
had one of
box.
those in a while. But that's the thing about a lemon head is at first it's like not, it's not like you bite into a Milky Way and that is just an explosion of flavor right off the bat. It's instant what's happening, right? A lemon head, it's the anticipation.
Right. You got to work for it. And then when you get that little bitter or whatever
that
taste,
this is going to get even better. And then it ends sweet. That's it. Like I said, it was so kudos to whoever sat around the boardroom table or the factory they were sitting in when they designed
the candy lab.
It's like kudos to the drunks working in the candy lab that said, bruh, okay, we got a bunch of lemon stuff. Our contract with Pledge ended, and they're not going to be using our lemon chemicals as much as we do. We got a lot of vats of lemon chemicals that we don't think will kill people. We're pretty sure because we sprayed this stuff into people's face and it doesn't seem to affect them that much. So what can we do with the big barrels of lemon chemicals that will no longer be used in Pledge? What can we do with that? Bro, I got an idea.
Maybe the guy went to South Lafourche High School and used to hang out in Head Hall. And that's why they called it Lemon Head.
Lemon Head. Those of you that missed episode 106, go back and catch up. But Lemon Head. I'd have been a member of Lemon Head Hall. Those are great. They weren't good for your teeth. They weren't good for your midsection. They sure weren't good for your diabetes if you got it. But I was thinking about we started talking about high school and stuff and something in the halls. And I don't know if we've done this forever. I can't remember what we talked about. Did you use a locker in high school?
Mm-hmm.
So we had lockers. I think we ever, and some people may have used them. I never did. Like, I want to say like either my junior, senior year, I didn't even remember which one was my locker. Like,
what'd you do? Carry your all
and
your books?
That's what I can't remember. I can't remember how I got booked. I think we
because we didn't have book bag. We didn't have a back sack or whatever you call.
No, we didn't do that. I might have just hid my books in whatever classroom I needed them in. I don't. Knowing me, I had some in my car. I might have had some at home. Because there were some classes where like, man, we don't even use the book, or it's sort of.
See, now my daughter's school, they have lockers, but I don't even know if they put locks on them. They don't really use them. Because they have take home or stay home books.
Okay.
So one book stays in the class.
It's a different system. Now I know I got friends that'll probably be like, screaming at me saying, oh, that's what we did, because I want to say that at South Lafourche, if you put a lock on your locker, you are guaranteeing yourself that people were going to mess with you. Like that was the sign of weakness. Like a sign of weakness was you put a lock.
Somebody's going, I care if somebody steals my stuff as a weakness.
You put a lock on a locker, it was like you were the limping gazelle on the savannah. You're the one that the lions are going to take out.
I bet if you give me, I'm going to think about it when we go in a little break here. I'm going to think about my combination, and I bet you I can still come up with it.
All right.
Only combination lock I've ever owned in my life.
Yeah.
28, 30, 0.
Now I got no way to check that. I got no way to check that.
I remember because, even though 30 was right by 28, you had to go all the way around because you had to make the full lap on the combination lock. But then 0 was kind of close to 30, so wasn't too bad.
Man, I hate combination locks, by the way. I mean, I always have, and I all the way back and
so I know my kids have a couple that they've written the combination with the back or with a Sharpie on the back.
On the back. Oh, that's serves the
purpose. This is effective.
Well, it's high school's a jungle. It's and we did what we had to do, but I don't even remember why. Like I said, because I was literally thinking about that either last night or this morning, I guess, because we had the conversation about whole high school days. And I was thinking, how did I get my books from? Because maybe I started sophomore year using, because I know darn well by the time we finished, I don't even think I returned it. Yeah, I don't remember like what. I may even.
Yeah,
I
I
may
can
even.
just remember because it was, first day of school, your locker assignment was a big thing because you didn't want one way down below. Yeah, if you got one that you could open on
Oh
top, that was,
yeah, remember that? Oh, that's like getting the bunk beds, right? No,
yeah.
man, I don't. I always wanted the top bunk. I wasn't wanting the bottom bunk, but yeah, I remember that. Galliana Junior High. I know I've talked about this before because there was a period where my dad, when he was the assistant principal, somehow, knowing him, he volunteered for it. This would be the kind of grunt job that you would say, man, give this to a janitor. And I'm not saying janitor's a grunt job. I'm just
Right.
saying, just like, man, you got to delegate this crap. But he was in charge of the lockers, the locks on all the lockers at Galliana Junior High. And there were a ton. And they would assign you a padlock, a combination
Yeah,
lock.
I think they do that now, and they've got like a key that they could open it,
Okay, I don't know that we
like a
maybe.
master key or something.
I think back in those days, I think my dad just had the list of all the combinations. I know he did because, dude, I can tell you,
Yeah, you
I
had to
love my.
turn in your combination.
No, dude, you talk about the gruntest of the grunt work ever was during the summer. All right, and I don't know how many days it would take, but man, there was nothing. There were few things I looked less forward to than putting the locks on the locker day because my dad brought me along. But the kind of work you would never pay somebody to do or get somebody
Because
thing
they wouldn't do it for money.
no, you can do, but you can make your son do some things. And dude, we would go and how'd this work? He would take the lock. I'd have to read him
The serial number or something on it.
whatever. And you even know my dad. My dad was so meticulous. I mean, this
He just
dude
searched
had
that in on his laptop in his spreadsheet, right?
dude, he had spreadsheets before there was such a thing, man. My dad was the king of the chart and the what, and we had to try it to make sure that was the lock.
Verify that it worked.
God help us when it wasn't, because then it was probably me that didn't do it right, or oh man, it was.
That's why you never had a lock.
I probably was. By the time that you made you have one at Galliana Junior High, which was always that was a train wreck, man. I mean, kids are just mean. Some of the stuff that because man, it was the worst and people did that. They'd look over your shoulder to find your
Find your combination.
find your combination. And when somebody got your combination, it wasn't staying secret, and then everybody's messing with you. You ever had what they call rigging a locker?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that was Brian. He got his locker rigged. Rigging a locker was you would get in somebody's locker and just stack all the books, so when you open it up, they'd all fall out, or
Nice.
do other mean things. Yeah, it was just not good, not good. Makes me want one or two other things. Are people? Do you think in high schools, well, middle schools too? It's kind of funny. We say middle school, like that's like young kids, man. Middle school, that's thugs. Like by the time you get to high school, a lot of times that's what I found. I found that 7th through ninth grade are the most evil period.
Yeah, because that's where you go from the innocent age to now I've got to cut my place in history.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it's changed because social media has so warped everything and it's right. But if it seemed looking back to me, it seems that like elementary was just there was stress in elementary, but it was it was a different time. It was a peaceful time. I mean, at some parts of elementary, we played marbles.
Yeah.
We had recesses where we played tag and football and elementary school, man. Junior high for us was 7 through 9. That was Vietnam, bro. That was the absolute worst 3 years of my life. I mean, good grief. It was awful. Freaking awful. I got good memories from that. There were some fun times, but overall, dude, 7th through 9th grade was just a circle of hell. And by the time you get to high school, where some people, high school was actually pretty good because you got to break away from, it wasn't just the couillons, the tight circle of couillons and the have nots and who's this and who's that and who's pretty, who's not, who's on the beauty court. You're going to another place. Now there's going to be more beauty courts because South Lafourche was every bit in those days, right? When you did stuff like that. But you know, you had two other schools coming in. So there's a bigger group.
Right. The odds of you being in the lesser group,
yeah,
it kind of weren't stacked against you.
As we said before, you could figure out where do I belong? Do I belong in Jock Hall? Do I belong in Band Hall? Do I belong in Head Hall? I don't even know where you hung. I want to say that like the different level, we called it Head Hall, but I think the true troublemakers were outside. Bro, you didn't want to go outside. Like anybody was, we had an air conditioned building. Anybody taking their recesses outside, they had a reason. They had a reason they were taking them outside. But oh well, that's so I'm glad you could remember your combination, Juan. That's
that's about all.
Well, you know, earlier I was and we joke about, you said that break. So we've talked about this before. We're so seamless, especially if you're listening on the audio, you probably wouldn't even know what happens with the masterful editing that happens. But so the thing we used to record here, it gives you 45-minute segments, and it wouldn't be a lot of money to change that. And we first of all thought about it, but it's actually, it's a benefit to us,
right?
Because it keeps you honest. Yeah, because we would end up with forever. So it's like, oh wait, got to keep. So you get that halftime. So as you're saying, we're making a joke about, you know, that little break, blah blah blah, and we go to the quick break, and I took a little longer this time because I pressed. I went to make some more coffee, and I mistakenly pressed strong on the Keurig setting. I don't know what it does to slow it down. You know, I'm gonna have to research. Like, well, I don't
probably less water going through the.
No, it's the same volume. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I think they might just put that on there to make you think it's stronger. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But as this is happening, my Ring doorbell goes off. So I look over, and I'm on doing this thing, and I'm looking on the phone, and I'm not sure. There's a few folks out there, and I think they just wanted to talk to me about the Lord or some Lord. I don't know which God they're pushing down there, but more power to them. Wish them luck. It's a pretty day, and they're doing both sides of the street. You ever notice that when they do that?
They're canvassing.
Oh yeah, like it's But then you wonder, how long y'all gonna stand outside the door before you realize I'm not coming? You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, do you think I'm putting on clothes to come down there and talk to y'all? Like, no, they're lucky. If my wife was here, she would. She'd invite them in. They would talk all.
She'd have schooled them.
Dude, you don't want to step into the realm of Catholic here, man. We will. Actually, no, she won't school them. She's very, very. She enjoys talking to people about, you know, and we're sort of, you know, I'm that way too. It's like I respect. Hey, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like we've said that before. I'll open the door and say, you know, hey, I'm impressed by your commitment to what you're doing.
Hey,
kudos to you.
Game respects game. Hey, yeah. Go at it. I started telling you earlier, and I do this to myself all the time. I do it to you, but I do it to myself. Start on a subject and started talking about a restaurant, and then, you know, okay. Here's how I had a couple of marks on me, right? Well, a couple got blood. I got something that drew a little blood last night. All right. So
gang fight out and
not. This is more embarrassing. So I get home from the restaurant, and by the way, as soon as we pull into the driveway, and it's about 9:35, so you know, not late, but yeah. I mean, sorry, my bad, 8:35. My wife sitting across says, "Okay, we're gonna I'm gonna run to Dollar Tree real quick." Now, okay, we don't live in a bad area, but bro, after dark,
but you're a husband.
Oh, I didn't go. I didn't go. No, man. Basketball game was on. No, I'm sorry. I mean, she was just right down the street, and so I'm like, all right, I'll keep it. You know, but okay, she wouldn't want me to go. See, that's the thing. She does not want me shopping with her because I got no patience for shopping. I don't shop, I buy. Right? When I hit a store, I hit a store. So and that's my thing, right? It's like, what time do they close? 9. So you got to make an emergency Dollar Tree trip like right now for 20 minutes of, I want to get some stuff for Easter. Easter's not for another week. Like what part? But anyway, so, I think it's a happy place. I think Dollar Tree and Dollar, she loves it. That's a happy place for her. So we walk in and my cat, outside cat, stays inside. And I'm kind of kidding about, she's getting, I don't know if she's getting older or more, whatever, but, she'd sometimes let you pet her a little more than she used to, and it's one of those things, right? Cats are so she's near the door. I'm like, hey, what's up, TikTok? I'm petting her a little bit. And, look at, she's letting me, she might want me to, she might even let me pick her up. Right. Hey, what's up, buddy? I pick her up and my son's in the room. So I watch a basketball game and I'm petting her. And then she's like, she's all right. But it's sort of like, and it's almost like I treat it like you sort of like breaking a Bronco, like you got to get them used to. Now we've had this cat for going on 3 years. Okay. So it's not like it's brand new, but I'm petting her and she's putting up with it. She's good, and I don't know, it wasn't a cold day. So I just got on a regular t-shirt, man. I got regular t-shirt and I got shorts on. So I'm petting her. Oh, good. And then my son even says, I can't believe she let you pick her up, man. That cat won't let me near her. And I'm like, well, it's because I got the touch, dude. I'm just joking about it. So while I'm petting her, she I thought it was almost cute. She put like her two paws sort of like crisscross like this. For those of you missing the visual, just sort of like right on my arm, right? And it's actually been right on my watch. Okay. Somehow she got her, I don't think cats have thumbs, but whatever you would call it, right?
The inside nail.
Okay. Cat has, so somehow she got her nail, I would call it the thumbnail, inside nail, stuck in my watch band. I don't even know how you do that. It's a metal watch band. I have no idea.
Oh,
and I think it might be the little, like it got in between. There's a little latch.
In between the links or something.
Okay. And I thought, okay, no big deal. Dude, she had it stuck. Then I don't blame. Here's the deal. I don't even blame her. This is where you're in a situation with an animal that you cannot blame it. That she starts going, oh. And that's the first noise. Oh. She wasn't, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't going crazy. But she was like giving that, like, okay, I've had enough. And, I'm Dr. Doolittle. So I'm talking to her. Hang on, kitty. Hang on. I got you. And I can feel she got claws out everywhere. She's not trying to claw me, but she's getting scared. So I got him. So I got to sit down in a chair and try to figure out a way to get a stuck cat out of my, right?
Without getting attacked yourself. Speaking of cats, here comes
boom,
Mr. Kitty.
On cue, Juan. Dude, we could not have time. That's the boy. Is that he or she?
He.
Well, he's getting pretty comfortable back there, man. Look at him.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
All right. Well, he heard the cat story. He wants to hear how it ends.
Jimmy out. Yeah. Yep.
He wants to hear how it ends. So I sit down there and I'm just thinking, oh man, I don't want to hurt the cat. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get sick. And I just like, what the heck am I going to do? So now I'm trying to keep her down. I'm trying to put enough pressure on her so she doesn't try to jump. Because the last thing I want is to have a cat hanging from by its thumb or whatever on my watch. And I just start trying to undo and like to reach whatever. And somehow it came loose. It didn't break off. It didn't, but it came loose. And I mistakenly thought, right? The crisis is over. The cat's going to realize I'm free. Well, the cat did realize it was free. And what do you do when you're free? You jump.
Celebrate.
You celebrate by jumping off my lap. I'm wearing shorts. Do you know when cats jump?
Yeah, you got to get a good grip.
They plant. They plant those hind legs, and they jump. And my cat apparently does not have any clue about retracting the claws. So yeah, so I had blood running down my leg.
It's like a piercing thing. Yeah, I've had that where, because Mr. Kitty will sit on your lap and all. Yeah, and then he decides he wants to play by swatting at you. And sometimes the claws are out, he swats at you and just gouges you.
I learned my lesson about when my cat's on the stairs, putting my face too close and playing around, just playing. And all of a sudden she's playing and you catch claws to the nose. You're like, oh, hey, yeah. No, so I stood up. I'm like, all right, that's not, and I can't help it. Every time that happens, man, Ted Nugent pops in my brain. And I got the cat scratch fever.
So you get some good blood bleeding going on?
Well, you're supposed to, I think. You got to, you kind of, I don't know that this is, guys, I'm not a doctor, although I play one on this podcast. I've always heard that if something like that, you get, because blood cleans it out, right? It helps. And then
I'm saying, like I know.
And then you go get some rubbing alcohol, and you rub that rubbing alcohol, and you itch to burn. If it's not burn, it's not working. If I'd have had some mercurochrome, some monkey blood, I'd have put that on there too. But I didn't. What I was watching, and that was in the process, this was happening as but the only part of the basketball game last night, the second basketball game I did not watch was that. So shout out to, we watched the LSU game, and by the time this airs, guys, so we're doing this on a Saturday. So the game's going to be played out, the women's Final Four. And I got to be honest, I will flat out say this. I, in my life, have never given a flip about the female Final Four. And that's not a reflection on anything, guys. There are a lot of sports out there. Yeah. There are a lot of sports out there.
I'm not going to watch the men's Final Four. I guarantee you that.
Okay. So there's all kinds. So it's not a reflection. It's just like, I have no interest. So this time I'm like, well, LSU's in it. So I'm like, all right, I got to watch, I like Kim Mulkey, even though she's, wow. She's something.
A friend of mine posted on Facebook last night after the game. He said, how many of you all of a sudden, the LSU women's basketball fan, have ever watched a game before the Final Four or for the Elite Eight? And he posed the question, how many of you have ever been to an LSU women's basketball game? Then his third question was, how many of you think Kim Mulkey raided Liberace's closet?
Apparently somebody's sending her that stuff, which is, I guess, look, don't get me wrong. Respect the heck out of her. What she is smart. I like the fact that she's comfortable in her own skin. I mean,
but just look to the other side of the court and see what the coach over there is wearing. Ain't nothing like that.
So last night's game was it was a man, right? It was a male coach of
he was in sweats.
But here's what's going to happen this next game, y'all. I'm telling you. So God only knows what she's going to wear to the finals. I mean, like I said, maybe we'll be surprised, but dude, she might come out in a carnival float. I mean, it's insanity what she's doing. The other coach I like, so they're actually LSU won that game, and they're going to be playing Iowa.
Yeah.
And I even told my wife last night during whatever, I like the Iowa coach. The Iowa coach reminds me of, she's been coaching for 20-something years. Dude, put together, dressed nice, professional. She looks like the kind of person you want running stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she's going on a job interview for the company controller.
Look, boom. All right. Just total. But like I said, they're both fantastic. Total respect. But so I watched the LSU game. And again, I don't want this to sound, and we watched it from, we're sitting at the bar at our favorite place. So I'm watching it, my wife and my son. Don't take this wrong, LSU fans or women. Them some ugly games. I mean, like there are more missed open shots.
Yeah.
So, and the same thing with South Carolina, the second game. It's like, oh, they're the leading rebounding team in the country. You know why? Because they miss all the time. The strategy is to just throw up a brick and let's just pound the ball. So, okay. So, and I don't want to, but hey, I'm glad they won. And I hope they win. The next game is Iowa against South Carolina. And again, I don't care about these things, but I understand that South Carolina has not lost since last year. They're undefeated. They're supposed to steamroll everybody. And apparently this other team, Iowa, has this Caitlin, what's her name? Caitlin Clark. And everybody's, and I got to be honest, I even made some fun about, this record, that record. And I'm like, okay. And you look at this, without ever seeing this person play before, you look and say, she's 6 foot for a female basketball. That's so she's got decent decent height. Of course, South Carolina's got some 6'7", 6. I mean,
but she doesn't have and I only saw the first half of that game, and so that's the only time I've ever seen her play. She doesn't have a dominating presence visually.
She looks like she weighs about 120 pounds.
Right.
Now you can tell she's a super athlete. You can tell she's got she's got a little muscle on her because she's but she would not be the first person picked at the YMCA pickup game. Okay, exactly. You're just saying like that's, dude. I got to tell you, and again, I total respect. I don't think I've ever watched a game where I was more mesmerized watching somebody play than last night. It's kind of funny. I went past embarrassed that I was like into this to like, dang, I think I might get a jersey. I mean, I mean, it was just.
Yeah, it was all I could do last night because that was a good game. I mean, I was exhausted, and so I went to bed.
Yeah, because they made you do manual labor. They made you do manual labor this week.
Exactly, for 3 days in a row. And I kept going back and said, "Gosh, can I stay up? Can I stay up and watch this game?"
And you did.
The one thing I will go back and say about Kim Mulkey and the outfit, and I'm not embarrassed by what she wears. She's doing what she wants to do.
You're a grown woman
around here, including the Advocate, the respected daily in Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
I'm glad something's still respected in Baton Rouge. That's good.
Well, they refer to it as Kim Mulkey's sideline fit, as in short for her outfit, because it's not important for the newspaper to use correct grammar in their headlines.
No, dude. Look, there are no standards. There are no standards. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward. And by the time this airs, y'all, we probably will have known or know.
Oh, well, definitely, because it airs.
Yeah,
Sunday
that's true.
night.
Yeah, this comes so it's so.
LSU defeated Iowa 102-85 to claim their first women national championship. Kim Mulkey did not dress like a clown. She was quite lovely. The referees, on the other hand, were horrifically bad and should have been arrested at halftime and replaced with the first 3 random people standing in the hot dog line.
Like I said, I could be totally wrong, but I'm going to bet there are 2 contrasting. And who knows? I mean, she's worn some, there's a difference between wearing, like she wears some shiny stuff. And don't get me wrong, man. Hey, who are we? Dude, I think.
This what amazes me about it, because
you and I are doing this in the shirts we slept in. I slept in this last night. All right, there you go. There you go, man. I mean, I'm not.
What's her name? Was the Dee Broussard. Used to be the
gymnastics
coach at LSU. From the Bayou. She's from Donaldsonville. And she wore some glitzy stuff, but it was all purple and gold, tiger stripe. It was team glitz. Kim Mulkey's out here with pink feathers.
Dude, and last night was flowers. Like that did look like Liberace. That ain't, so whatever.
And her little grandbaby's got an outfit like her. That was kind of cute.
Rock on with your bad self. And you know what? It's going to be, but oh, good grief. Man, if LSU actually wins, man, it's going to be insufferable. That's when you're
every woman in Baton Rouge is going to be wearing that stuff.
Well, what's going to happen is everybody's going to pretend that we're all, nothing like a champion.
That's just how we are here. No, it's not.
No, it's not. But that's good.
The closest most people get to pink in Baton Rouge is blood red.
Oh, jeez. Getting dark. But all right. So good luck to everybody.
To segue from talking about colleges, and last week my daughter had the college fair at her high school, so we went to that, and basically, I mean, it's an impressive thing. Colleges from around the country are there. They tend to attract a lot of liberal arts colleges. I don't know why. Not that that's a bad thing. They just do. But
I got a theory that I won't share, but okay.
Yeah, all the SEC schools were there. But the odd thing is, as we walk in, I see 2 or 3 of the recruiters there wearing masks, and I said, all right, we ain't going to them. And why? I said because we're not. We're not. Not going to talk to them. But apparently, like some of the recruiters were phenomenal. Some are just there. like,
Yeah.
Purdue, so my daughter swims and she, is interested in talking to schools that have a good swim program. So we go to Purdue, and the guy there's, older than me. And the first thing they do is you scan the barcode that they have, or QR code, so that they can get your information. And it also shows that you've been there. He says, I don't know nothing about this technology stuff. I think you're supposed to take a picture of this. All right.
All right.
That's your job. Good. You're obviously good at this.
You are really putting the best foot forward for Purdue. Where you stand right now? The Comfort Suites in
Sulphur.
In Sulphur, because I'm sensing an attitude from you, my man.
But apparently he was an alum, but not all of them. Yeah, and I understand that. It's not a.
Oh, he was an alum of that school, of your daughter's school.
So he was an alum of Purdue.
Oh well, okay.
But a lot of the people who are the recruiters or whatever they're called, they don't go to that university. Didn't go to that university, and that's okay. But it was fun because we had UConn was there. What's the big school just outside of Philadelphia?
Temple.
No, I don't know. They're good in basketball. Villanova.
Oh, okay. Villanova. All right.
Yeah. They were, their girl was like super excited. And that's what, Riley said, oh, well, that's ruined it for the rest of them because now she's just so good. I just, want to go check that out.
No, go figure, guys. It matters who you send to these things.
Yeah.
And So, did everything,
everything went well.
You talking about masks? One of the referees last night was wearing a freaking mask. You talk about a moron. I'm sorry. And I think we're finally to the point that we can start calling certain things out. I mean, I don't know, people have mental problems. I get it. One of the referees of the Final Four games running up and down the court wearing a freaking mask. I mean,
last week in Biloxi, in the casino, you see a lot of people wearing a mask, which, whatever.
Okay.
But I saw a person walking down the beach by themselves wearing a mask.
People are still broken. I get it. I am. Rock on with your bad self, y'all. But you know what? Just like you said, no, we're not going to talk to them. Nothing personal. That's all right. Yeah. I can skip.
I can tell you what kind of school that is now.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to go there. Babe, you don't want to go. Trust me. I know you don't think I know some things, but I know some things. That tells me a lot right there. You don't want to be there, babe. You don't want to be there.
Right. If that's the guy they're sending.
Yeah. We'll pick this conversation up another time. I got some higher ed thoughts to share. Or not. We'll see. Hey, you know what, man? I think the buffet has been laid out before us.
It's good.
Boom. There you go. It's there for you, everybody. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff actually stuck to wherever it goes. We don't know. We just push buttons and it happens, and we'll see.
My daughter has to do an interview with somebody over Zoom, and so yesterday she was having me show her how to record, and I said, I don't know, you might need to call Dave on that. But I said, here's what I do know: don't get out of it before you to see if it's stuck.
That's right. It's got to convert. I don't even know what it's doing when it converts. It just tells me it's converting. And then when it converts, you got to be careful what you press, because if you press the wrong thing, all that conversion, poof, it's gone.
Converted to nothing.
And then one time it converted and it hit it. I had to go find it. It was like
that's
Zoom.
The effort. That's the effort we make.
That's right. It was like Zoom was hiding Easter eggs for me. Like, you got to come in here and do the find whatever, and then go through the stuff that you didn't erase before. But anyway, we're getting into the weeds. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, if you want to reach us, we're here. You got us this time.
Right.
Well, you're watching us this time. But if you actually want to reach out and tell us something, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com.
That's right. If you got a recommendation on where I should stay next time I go to Sulphur.
Well, it sounds like somebody else is going to make that call for you, right?
Yeah. Well, I do go to Sulphur for swim.
You ought to pull, you ought to just big league them. Say, I ain't staying, just get your own. It's not like it's that far. So yeah, it is far. I guess it's not. I was thinking, yeah, so far. Okay, it is. Yeah, that's a little bit of drive. You're not going to stay at your house in Baton Rouge to do that.
No. It's 2.5 hours.
That's a bit much. That's a bit much. All right, everybody. We tell you every week. We don't tell you.
No, we demand it.
Demand. We don't ask much. We don't. It's just free, right? We don't ask much. We demand that you get out there.
That's right. It's the best week.
Have the best week of your life. In fact, it's a mandate. It's a freaking mandate that you hey, make the attempt. Make the attempt to have the best.
I was moving lemon heads all week, and I had the best week.
Ooh, I got an OV for some lemon heads right now, man. Sorry,
I'll hit you up next week, man. I'll pick up some when I'm on the floor at the next.
Probably like that old Jerry Cloward thing. We just flung a craving on some people, man. A lot of people right now say, "Oh man, a lemon head right now." But Jim, so look, it starts with the best hour. You know, even if it's not the best hour of your week, it's a top 5 hour. You think, right? It's a top 5.
You know, if your team won the Final Four, the women's NCAA tournament,
and it might not be quite as exciting.
A little better, but
might not be quite as exciting as when you got to get up in the middle of the night to pee, and then you realize, oh man, it's only
I got some time left.
It's only 3 a.m. Oh, I can still get me. Oh, that's one of the best feelings in the world, man.
That's the only reason I check the clock.
Yeah,
in case I got some extra time.
Oh, I got an empty bladder and a few more hours to sleep. That's the best. Well, that kind of excitement, that's what we try to bring you every week. But anyway,
every week
we try to do it. So until then, everybody. So again, we're going to find out some stuff. We'll talk about it, see what happens with the Final Four, and good luck to everybody, and hope everything goes well. Hope everybody out there has a fantastic week. We're out of here. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. There's a weight loss challenge going on at work, and it ends this week. Obviously, I'm not participating, but the winner gets $500.
Hey,
and he's in it hardcore, but another guy is also in it. And he was with us this week, and every time this guy would have like a drink or two, he'd say, "Oh man, you don't want to try this? You don't want to try that?" Because he was trying to be conscious on what he ate. That dude ate. He got a meal the other night at that restaurant where I got crawfish. After he ate his meal, he got a seafood a shrimp po' boy, because that other guy convinced him.
And he's in a weight loss contest?
Yeah, he could win it, but I told him, I said, man, tell me next week how good you did when you lose that $500.
Oh, you can't be too competitive, Some people $500, they cut off a foot. They're like, how much a foot cost? How much is a
one guy, apparently the same guy wins it just about every year, because he just goes hardcore for like 6 weeks and doesn't eat. And then after the contest, just goes right back at it.
That's a healthy strategy. Bro, I'm gonna be fat for 44 weeks.
I'm getting fat just so I could win this contest.
Ooh, I think they got the wrong. Well, and I'm gonna take the $500 I win and go get fat again. Golden Corral, baby. Here
I'd rather be fat consistently. It's healthier that way.